Podcast.
Yeah, so you've been fighting now. Was it professionally at some point? Is it still professionally? It's like
Professional. I'm a professional MMA fighter, or Muay Thai and boxing. I started at 21, which was, I don't know, I guess that's late these days in the fight scenes. But started there, just loved fighting, and eventually went pro because I wanted to start making some money. Yeah.
And then the whole love with martial arts, how did that start? So you mentioned earlier you're from Perth, from Australia. And how did the whole martial art journey started?
I would say I was, I don't know, 6 or 7 with my dad. Dad put me in karate and taekwondo. That's where I started. And then I always loved fighting. And then I think I found a UFC video. And I saw that and I was like, this is awesome. I want to do this. And then my uncle said, I got a friend who does that, which at the time when I was 21, that's 14 years ago or something like that, 15 years ago. And it was nothing like MMA, especially in Perth in Australia, was non-existent. It was quite small. So to find someone who did it, I went and trained twice and then fought.
So just to give the more idea, so you started when you're 21. How old are you now?
35.
It took you a while. Wow, you've been doing a lot of fighting, dude. So 21, you're 35 now, so it's been 14 years of journey of doing that. And then I want to actually go back more about talking about the traditional martial arts, what you did when you were younger. So karate, was it Shotokan? Was it the point-based thing? Was it something else?
I think it was point-based. From recollection, I was quite young when I did it.
6 years? That's not that young. That's just, come on, you're a grown man.
I can't even remember how old I am. Got to go back to how.
Yeah, I should continue being a professional martial artist.
I think it was point fighting because I remember we used to put on some the vest and the headgear and
that's for TKD. You would have a vest and that kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't recall.
I do remember because I did.
Because you've done,
I did Shotokan and I was competing, and then I did TKD because just to improve my kicks, and it was really, really cool. And then we had the thing, but I didn't find very comfy because it's kind of on your way. You can't really
sort of restricts you.
Yeah. But mainly was like then they can count the points. Like when a tap, you can hear the sound and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you did karate and taekwondo at the same time.
Not at the same time, no. I started in taekwondo and then we moved somewhere, and then I did karate. I think that was the way it went.
Oh, okay.
And then, but I didn't really do it for long. It was, I got my yellow belt with a few stripes, and then moved on. I think I went from, what did I say? Started in taekwondo. I can't remember. I started in one of them. I went to the next one, and then I think I went into like football, like AFL, Australian rules football, and cricket and basketball and.
So basically, you're very kind of where the time you were just an active kid who did all these different sports.
Yeah.
Right. So then you saw the fighting stuff. What you said?
UFC.
UFC. So you saw UFC and you were just like, wow, this is cool. I want to do it.
Yeah.
And then, but then you already didn't do martial arts anymore at the time, or you still were doing?
No, I hadn't been doing martial arts for years and years.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
so then you're like, oh shit, I have this baggage and this knowledge of doing these things. Then obviously you need to do some wrestling.
Yeah, well, I got into a lot of street fights for some reason. People just wanted to punch this pretty face. And
shit, do tell. What was the reason? Like, were you like a mouthy kid?
I think I was confident. I was a confident kid, and I didn't back down from people who, like, I don't know if people thought confidence was cocky, and people didn't like that, and someone would bump into you and say something like they want to start a fight. And, And I'd just be like, okay. You want to punch me? Let's go.
No problem.
I don't mind. And then I'd generally win everything, and I'd be like, you okay?
Yeah.
We good?
Do you want to go again? Okay. And so there was at some point, like now in Australia, that also UFC whole scene kind of became quite popular, and people started doing more fights and organizing stuff.
Yeah, slowly. So when I started, like I said, my uncle had a friend who did it, so I went and trained with him. I did 2 training sessions, and then I fought on the weekend, like 2 training sessions ever in my life.
Wow.
And I went And I ended up going to a friend's dad's 40th where they peer pressured me into having one beer, which turned into 2 beers, which turned into a very big night. And then I rocked up because the fight show started. We had to be there. I think it was 10 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I was still drunk, I think. And I was like, I saw my opponent because we weighed in on the day and they matched us on the day because it was amateur fights.
Yeah.
And I saw my opponent. I was like, I'm hungover and stuff, but he looks pretty small. I could probably, or not small, he was bigger than me, but I was like, I'm good. And then he took his shirt off and he had like fucking 12-pack of abs. I was like, this might be a little bit harder than I expected. And I'll tell you what, did I get the shit kicked out of me.
Wow. And that was the first one?
That was the very first one. Yeah, he kicked, I lost count how many times he kicked me in the leg. Wow. I couldn't walk for a week. And I was just like, I love this.
Wow.
This is great.
But do you think it would be outcome the same if he would actually kicked you in the face and like really knocked you out and kind of...
I think I still would have loved it. Yeah?
Wow. Yeah, because in karate days, I did felt like proud that I did the fighting thing, but just coming back home always with busted nose, busted lip, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just didn't really felt like, I want to do this forever.
Yeah, well, there might be something wrong with my head, but you know, because a lot of people, that's why they introduce padding and all that sort of stuff, so that they can ease people into it and not just put them in there and they get annihilated and then that's it.
Yeah.
Know?
I think it really depends. Like, what was the kind of selling point for you? Because like for me, karate was just like. It was, I don't know, considered to be, this kind of dangerous martial art. And we hear these stories where people get really hurt, even just doing karate. That's, this is not, it's point karate, man. Like,
people still get knocked out.
Yeah. I remember I got this nasty kick in my jaw. Like this guy, I was brown belt at the time, he was black belt, and he really needed to prove that he's better than me on this one like national competition. And the guy just kicked me so hard in like with the roundhouse.
Yeah.
I thought my jaw just went to my ear. I was like, fuck. And then next like 2 weeks, I was like, I couldn't chew. That was nasty. And then just thinking like to deal with this on a normal basis, like every time you're in pain and I don't know. For me, it didn't make much sense. But I do understand like the adrenaline, and especially if you win, that adrenaline is fucking insane.
It's awesome. It is an awesome feeling. Like a lot of people don't enjoy the overall experience. They only enjoy it once they win. And it's like, oh, yes, I won. Oh, it was all worth it and it was all good and this and that. Because you go through a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, of course.
But I enjoy all of it. I enjoy the emotional roller coaster that I go through. I still, people look at me and they don't think I would get nervous. They see me stand in the ring against my opponent or weigh in or whatever, and I look cool as a cucumber. But sometimes inside, shit be turning upside down.
Little Ryan is really crying his eyes out.
I'm like, when I coach my students and all that sort of stuff, I sort of talk to them about that. I've broken down in tears before I've gone out and fought. Then I've gone out and fought and come back and go, fuck it, that was awesome! And it's just...
It's the pre-fight jitters are crazy. I remember for me, my stomach was always... mental. I went to the toilet like 10 times. I thought my bum hole was hurting. I was like, what the fuck? And then as soon as you finish that fight, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's how crazy like the mental state can just do whatever else with your body.
Yeah.
Can we show any of the fights? Do we have anything on YouTube?
Yeah, jump onto my YouTube.
Here we are. This is the fight, just getting ready. And this is one of your last fights.
This was my last fight, yeah. He's from New Zealand and trains out of City Kickboxing. It's not very long. It's actually one of my quickest fights.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sensing that you win it. You did win it.
Maybe. I didn't realise he was going to strike with me as much as he actually did. So I heard he was a jiu-jitsu guy, good jiu-jitsu guy. Right. And a lot of my shots actually didn't hit him. He blocked a lot of them. Besides the leg kicks, I landed them.
That's a lot. Well, obviously depends how it goes.
That was my attempt at a spinning kick. Yeah. First spinning kick I've ever thrown in a fight. And I'm not the greatest at spinning.
Because you kind of like almost landed it with the
sideways.
Yeah, sideways. Those are dangerous ones.
This is where I thought it was fight was going to go pretty soon.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh, that's it. You got him in. That's it. Oh, shit.
Snatching necks, cashing checks.
Wow. Get that guillotine in. He had no place to go.
No place to go, yeah. I helped use the cage as a pinning point.
Yeah. Nice. And like for you to come up with that kind of solution for this fight, like is this a result of just experience and fuck, no, I'm not doing the microphone properly. It's a result of experience and kind of figuring out this actually could kind of get him in, or that was very natural and very like you just went for it and
it was just natural.
Yeah.
I'd actually been catching a lot of boys in the gym with the standing guillotine, using like the wall in the gym as the pinning point.
I like the sentence if we just take it out of context. I catch a lot of boys in the gym.
I catch a lot of boys in the gym. We're sweaty.
Come train in Bali. Come train in Bali, MMA. Ryan is going to be there in the corner.
We cuddle hard.
Oh wow! There you go. That's what's up. That's what we needed. And how many professional fights have you had altogether now?
I think it's about in MMA 18.
18.
Yeah.
18 MMA. So what else are we talking about?
I had 12 amateur fights. I went 6-6 in amateur. And yeah, when I first started in that, like I said, the MMA was nothing really, you know. So I had to fight whoever they could find me, which I was quite a small person at the time. I was, you know, I'm pretty big now. You know?
Yeah, massive.
No, but back then I walked around at 60 kilos.
Right.
And the smallest people they could find were people cutting down to 65.
Oh, so they didn't even have your weight category.
Didn't even have my weight category. So I'd fight at 65 kilos.
Right.
Everyone weighing in super shredded in their underwear, and I've got some pants on and some eating a burger and shit.
Blah, blah, blah. Renarspodcast.